Hey guys and gals, it's Mike White with 143 again. So here's another group help picture. So someone posted in the group and they're looking for this image and they don't know where to buy it from. And it's always fine in my opinion to take inspiration from an image like this and just recreate it. I mean, just draw it and give it your own twist. So I'm going to show you how to do that in Inkscape. So I've saved the image to my computer and I'm popping open Inkscape. And I'm going to open that folder and just drag our inspo image right in here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. So I'm just using the minus keys to zoom out. I'm going to pull that over here. And I'm going to change the document properties to be more, in line with what we are seeing. Let's make this 1920 by like 1080. Maybe 1200. So that's HD resolution. Alright, so that's closer. At least gives us some room to work. And now I'm just going to grab the Bezier Curve tool and I'm going to turn on Spiro Spline because it makes it really easy to draw really pretty curves. And I'm just going to start out by just drawing this initial curve. So I'm not real proud of how that started. Let me just escape. There, now it's acting properly. I'm going to escape again. That's what I was expecting. So I'm just drawing out that main curve that we see. And I'm trying to keep it symmetrical. I'm going to hit enter to confirm. I'm going to change some things. So I kind of want this to be more, even. I'm just going to grab this like this and move this object right here. And then I'm going to change the fill. I don't want any fill. I want just stroke. And I'd like it to be black so I can see it. And we'll just change this to PX and we'll make this 4. And we've got the stroke on. Why aren't we seeing it? So the object has disappeared, and sometimes that happens to me. So I'm going to find it again by just clicking on this path. Oh, because our transparency is all the way down. FF. Alright, so alpha up. There's our black stroke. Just make it a little bolder so we can all see it. And then, if I want to compare it to the original, it looks like it's a little high. So I'll just bring it on down. I'm just using object editing. You just play with it till you like it. And then we're just going to grab our Bezier tool again. And I want to turn this path from I just did object to path, and that converts it from that Spiro Spline back into like a regular path. So now the points will just act normally. But now when I draw again, I want this to be Spiro again. So I'm just going to make sure Spiro is selected. And then I'm going to draw the bottom part of this path. So I don't believe it's actually connecting the paths right now. In fact, it is. Let me just to get rid of that. So I'm going to go back to object mode and then go back to path mode or draw mode. I don't want it to connect. So let's just make sure our snap is on. Deselect the path, go back in with our Bezier curve, and it's snapping now. So that's what I want. And now I'm happy to turn snap off for the moment. And we're just going to draw the underside of this. And turn snap back on and snap. All right, so I've got 2 curves there. And then it looks like there's some humps. We don't have to be exact, but let's just make some humps. So we'll just kind of make a random hump here. And it's doing that same thing where I'm not real happy with the way it started. Actually, that looks kind of cool. We'll let that hump be. Okay, so that's not real when it seems like it's not doing what I expect it to. We'll make a little bit bigger hump here. So I'm just coming way up. I might need to change my snap distance. Not even sure how to do that in the new Inkscape. I'll just turn it on and off when I need it. Alright, so I got a couple of humps going. And we're just blocking in the big elements before we start doing the smaller ones. So let's get this zigzag that we see at the bottom. So for that, we'll turn Spyro off. And so I'm just going to go for regular drawing. This is kind of giving me some guides visually. Let's look at our inspo. So the path should start, a little bit below. If that lines up, we'll just start here. And we're just going to do some big zags. Experiment with that. And then we'll just go past it. Look over here. I'm just glancing. I'm trying not to be too inspired. Yep, I don't like mine as much as I like theirs. So there's, not many things are truly straight in life. So we'll just, kind of give some curve, give a little bit of life to these zags, and we'll make them a little broader. So I'm just clicking and dragging. Pulling this in. And then we'll just come back up. Snapping's not my friend once more. Alright, so not happy with that curve, but no problem, we'll fix it up. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's kind of study what we like about this one. I see. So this side. Below the surface here. So these objects overlap. Alright, so all that is just going to be one shape. So now I'm just going to do path union. Oops, not happy with the way that worked out. Let's select this. I see, these two need to be combined. So path combine. And then we need to check the ends and make sure that there's not two, like that it's actually closed there. So that one was not. Alright, so now let's just try to select everything in union. Path union. That's the shape we want. It's not as beautiful as the original. They obviously took a lot more time with that. Yeah, I'm not real happy with this part, but I'm just giving you the gist of it. I'd spend a lot more time on that and tweak it out. Alright, so now let's just do our trees. So we're just going to look at this tree. I'm trying not to steal. I'm trying to just be inspired. And we're just going to just draw. Let's turn our Spyro back on. We're just going to draw. And that is bothering me. I want it to start spiraling right away. It's being buggy today. Yeah, see what it's doing to me there. Snap's getting in my way. So it's still a Spyro spine, so if I keep editing it, it will keep. Yeah, we want a real jaunty angle here. Okay, and then I'm just going to combine these two and do object to path to make sure that they're just regular paths now. And I'm going to do the same thing where we close it up. We'll select these two and join them. And then up here, we're going to continue to draw. So let's just do these palm, the fronds. And this is what I call digital crafting. I mean, this is the new crafting, I mean, I was talking to a really good friend of mine that I've known for many years earlier, Alex Vanover, with DIY Alex, and it bothers her that we're all moving towards this digital medium, and it bothers me too. It feels like working with HTV, working with vinyl was a lot craftier, if you will. And I think Alex, was kind of lamenting the fact that now we just, get things printed as a DTF transfer. So, what we need to do though to combat that feeling, I think, is to keep, designing and working digitally. I mean, I think that's the key to, making this feel like our own. This is how we take ownership of things, is we just do the design, like make the designs. And I think we'll feel a lot better about it. All right, so I'm looking at things on the original, and I'm just trying to kind of make mine look cool like theirs is. So I've got this. Looks like I have way too much geometry in there, and I don't need all this. So I'm just going to delete some of these. That'll make it easier to work with. Alright, so we'll just move this hump. Working with this hump, moving it around. You never really want your handles to overlap. That's not a good idea. And I want to add in a point here, so we'll just hit the plus tool. I hit it a couple of times. And then I can hit the minus to remove the points that I don't need. So I don't need this one. Let's minus that. And then right in here, let's add another one. We're going to get this little jaunty kick out that they had at the bottom here. Just makes it look a little more organic. Alright, and these fronds are definitely going to be the biggest challenge. And if I feel like doing a little tracing, it's cheating. But it's definitely something that can be done. I'm going to take this and scoot it like this. Kind of match it up. And I'm just going to catch this hero one up here. And match it. So I'm just pulling this out. Put another point here, put a point here. This can be so calming and therapeutic. I mean, everything that we used to get out of the manual crafting experience can certainly be achieved with what I call digital crafting. So I'm just going over the reference here. And I love that it's not completed because it's gonna force me to draw my own, which is wonderful. And after we confirm, we can decide what we like and what we don't like. We like it. This feels a little tortured right in here, so we'll just kind of, we'll just delete that one. This leaf just doesn't feel, this little frond doesn't feel as smooth as the others. Let's just turn on auto smooth here. There we go, auto smooth. Auto smooth, just kind of fix your little problems with auto smooth if it's getting too picky. Doesn't feel right. Just trying to make it look organic. Happy enough. All right. I'm just clicking that and rotating it back around and getting it back out of here. And there's our little palm tree. So I think that's connected to the ground. Yep. So we're just going to, again, object union. Oh, path union. And it's really starting to take shape. So I've just had the video paused and I've just drawn another palm tree right here next to this one. Okay, so now I have just drawn another little guy. And I'm just kind of, thinking about what to do next. So I really do like a lot of this. Let's get some layers going here. So I've got one layer here. I'll add a new layer. And I'm just gonna copy this and paste it on this layer. And then turn this one off. So now I've just, I've just made a copy of my entire path. Ooh, I'm not... Yeah, that's fine, the way it worked out. That's cool. Okay. And then I'm just going to copy one of these trees. So let's just get rid of all these nodes that we don't need. I'm going to select here and break the path. And break the path here too. And break it here. And then I can clean all this up. And I noticed my second tree was very similar to my first tree. So now I've got this. And I'll just copy it and paste it. And then on this one, I'll get rid of these nodes. And on this one, I'll get rid of these nodes. So now I've got two little copies of the trees. And then I'll turn this one back on. And we can just kind of experiment with placing more copies. So, let's just move him up. Let's make that, yeah, let's just start playing with these. We can rotate this one. And that's nice in there. And this is the digital crafting part, right? Alright. And same. I mean, I think this looks pretty good. I like that better. Just take all these elements and do path union. And we have got our basic design. I think I'm pretty happy with it. Let's look at the original. We had some overlapping trees and some other elements, but you know, we're just gaining inspiration. This is the way I decided to do it. So now let's go back to our stroke paints. Select this object, and we don't need any fill. We don't need any stroke, excuse me, we want fill. And I'm still seeing that weird, alpha. So let's just look and see if our layer has that on it. Could be the object itself. That opacity's all the way up. The layer. I'm trying to figure out why we're not seeing, why this isn't solid. So let me play with that. Oh, it's right here. Opacity set down. Boom. All right. Palm trees. I hope this helps. So now I want our design to say something. So I'm just going to, bring this down and just kind of create this square canvas. I just went back to my document properties and made it 1920 by 1920. And that's nowhere near what I'm going to render it as. I also found this cool palm leaf font on Font Space. And I'm just going to click here and say, take me. Yeah, let's try that. Let's just do take me. Let's see if we can do that font. So I'm going to search for that palm. Demo font, apply it. So let me know it's a trial too. It's thick. Gosh, it's good. Alright. Now let's look at putting that on a path. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that text is centered by using my align and distribute. You can go to Object, Align and Distribute if you don't have this panel. And I'm just going to do it relative to the page. Let's distribute this relative to the page as well. Oh, it's already centered. Okay, great. And then we're going to put this on a path. So let's just grab our tool, our node tool, pen tool, excuse me. And I'm just going to draw a path. So I'll start down pretty good from here, and I'll just go to the center, and it's helping me. I've got snapping on, it's kind of helping me line that up. I'm going to hold control as I pull this out, and that'll make things even. And then I'm just going to eyeball it, find the end here, and hit enter. I'll drag a ruler down and make sure those are even. So I just want that to snap, hopefully, to the ruler, or I can just eyeball it. I'll be happy with that. Okay, so I got this path, and then I'm going to take this, and then select the path, and I'm going to do text, put on the path, okay? And then I'm going to grab my text tool and click here and hit home, and then do Alt, hold Alt, and use your arrow key, and just adjust it along the path so that it looks pretty centered. And that looks good enough to me. And so now I'm just going to duplicate both of these. That's probably my best bet. So I'm going to do Control V, bring this one down. And I don't like seeing that other path now, so I'm going to get rid of it. So we'll try to select that. Wrong one, right there. All right, and I'm just going to turn off the fill on this, and then this one. Let's just type. I'm going to say 2 H. And it's way off the screen, but let's see if we can just adjust our font size. Let's find our text controls. All right. And what's our font size? Let's just change this to 1. Not sure that that's working for me. Let me play with it. Okay, I found my controls up here, so I'm going to make it 100 points. Can we go 150? Too much. 110. 110 is fitting. And I like it. Alright, so let's get rid of this. We'll just take off the fill. And then let's look at our overall framing. We'll select both of these, and I'm just going to make them object to path, and then path combine. Oops, didn't like that. We'll just group them. I'm going to hold Alt, Control, and Shift. Snap's getting in my way and not letting me place it just the way I want it. Yeah. And I have converted both of these to paths. Will it let me combine them? Now it'll let me combine them. Oh, they're grouped. I want to ungroup them. Ungroup. Yeah, those are all one path now. And all this stuff just takes time. I mean, it takes time to learn. It takes time to play. And you just gotta enjoy yourself while you're doing it. So there we go. Take me to the beach. What about coloring this? Okay, so I found this fun palette right here. I'm just going to grab that. I'm going to do a print screen and just select this palette. That's what I'm interested in. Let's see if we can just paste that right into Inkscape. Wow, we can. Gosh, life is getting easy these days. Alright, so we'll just pull that palette in. And let's see about making a gradient. So I've just changed the fill to a radial gradient. Let's just do a linear gradient. And we'll just take this top color, make it this red. Let's see if there's a way to edit the gradient. There's our gradient tool. I'm just going to make the gradient go from the top to the bottom. I'm just going to drag it all the way down to the bottom of this. Alright, and let's make our second stop. That's this one. Let's just start adding stops. Add stop, add stop. So they're all along here. And then we can adjust their placement. So we can just kind of adjust these to to be fairly evenly spaced. So all we're doing is making a gradient here. And we'll make this stop right here be the same. And then we'll have it fade into this stop. We'll choose that color. And have it hold that color. And then this stop will fade to the green. Hold the green. And then I just think we need one more. So let's just bring this up a little tighter. Let's bring that up in here. Yeah, and I think I went too extreme there. Let's pull these back down. So we'll spread it out. I want this to be fairly symmetrical. Just kind of eyeballing this. I'm sure there's a precise way to do it. And we'll just add a stop in there. And then we'll have this one change to the blue, and this one change to the blue. Okay, so there's that, and now we've got that gradient, and we've just got the one gradient in the gradient library. So now let's select this other object, and we are going to put the same linear gradient on it. This one. And then we are going to adjust that gradient on the stage. Oop, we did that before. Select that object. And then pick our gradient tool. There it is. And just like this one, we'll drag this up, and we'll drag this straight down. And we'll put it right at the bottom. Okay, and I've just adjusted both of those gradients to be the same height. So that's the gradient for that, and this is the gradient for this one. And you know, I don't see a problem with combining these objects, but now I've got them overlapping here. And so I'm just going to trim, Control-Shift-R. Oops, not to that object. Deselect, Control-Shift-R, trim to the whole design. And that's kind of highlighting some problems for me. Look, I've got this part is bigger overall than the design below, and I guess that's okay. But what I don't like is I can see that this top take me, it's going to be really tricky, very dense mesh here. All these nodes need to scoot over a tiny bit. I'm just trying to be careful to not select anything below. Oh. I'm just nudging those over now that I've got them all selected. So I'm just nudging them over with the arrow keys. Now it's centered. And we'll call that a finished project. Hey, thanks for following me along on these tutorials. I really love doing them for you. So if you're looking to buy DTF transfers, the place to buy them is 143vinyl.com. Have a great day.